Yeah, what's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Prison Break Raw. I'm your host, the one and only Big JD. If you have done time with me in the state in the late 90s, or if you were with me in the feds after 2012, chances are I've written a letter for you. If you're a homie, you're a wood, even some paisas, not writing in Spanish, writing in English, whatnot. Somebody that gets hooked up with that special pen pal that they just want to lock in. Or maybe it's that chick that they met at court who was in the holding tank next to them. Maybe it's their wife, their girlfriend, whoever it is. Even some cases, to write their family to try to articulate in a way that'll get them some money put on their books or a package sent to them. You know the drill. There's always some ulterior motive to a lot of these dudes. And the reason they're coming to a guy like me in the first place is because most of them are dumb as a box of rocks, man. They can't form a simple sentence. Back to the articulation. They don't know how to articulate their words. They don't know how to transmit on paper what they're feeling, what they're thinking, what they want to talk about. So they come to me. Because I'm good at it, man. I got a little bit of game when it comes to writing letters. People have seen them. People seen the way I write. The fact that I write poetry. I did a lot of grievances with the jailhouse lawyer and all that shit. That was other things that I used to have to write for people. They're 602s. When they're filing a 602 on something, I had to do the writing, right? Because if they would have done it themselves, they'd have gotten that shit shot down. It would have been boomeranged right back to them. And it would have been like you did not state a claim on which relief could be granted and all that stuff. I've gotten people out of prison, gotten their warrants dropped. Got this dude straight up out of the hole. Got him out of the hole, and he said the first thing he's going to do is he's going to send something into me, and he never did. But whatever. You can't really expect anybody to follow through on these things, especially if they can't even write a letter. So I was the guy. I did all the writing. Your girl was in love with me. Your girl was basically talking to me, and I knew more about these dudes' old ladies than these dudes knew about their old ladies. You know what I mean? I knew what kind of shampoo they were using. I knew what they were feeling, what they were going through from day to day. Because I'd have to read the letter to some of them couldn't even read. So I'd have to read the letter to them and shoot the response back according to what I was reading, not what they were reading, because when they're standing there trying to, Dear Abby type of shit, they're telling me, well, can you say this? Can you say that? I'm like, well, she's not even talking about that, and that's not even what was discussed. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, just like that, man. Even when it come to writing the smut letters, got some of these dudes standing next to me talking about, tell her I want to stick it in her ass. Tell her I want to stick it in her ass. I go, well, you can't just come out with some shit like that, man. You got to articulate it in a romantic way. You know what I mean? You got to make it like a romance novel. You know how, have you ever read a romance novel? Homie, I can't even read. Well, you know what I mean? I can't even read those shit kicker books. Okay, well. But yeah, writing the letters for all these cats. They'd be lined up at the door sometimes. Just the way it was, man. But it's the funny thing about the whole letter writing thing in itself. There were times where in the feds, I'd have to get on the computer, and this was a risk. You know what I'm saying? This was a risk. Get on the computer when you're logged in on your name and write your letters for you. It got to the point to where the COs knew why it was going on. Because some of these dudes would run out all their True Links, all their True Link minutes, trying to write a simple sentence. Can't even type. I got some fast typing hands as well. Went to typing class. I took advantage of a lot of these classes and things that were in there. Creative writing, English literature, psychology, typing, accounting, Microsoft Office, all these different classes. I took them while everybody else told me I was a nerd. Yet, when it came down to it, I was the nerd that they had to come to in order to get out of prison, write their old lady a letter, get some money from their parents, something like that. So I did all the writing, and it got to the point to where everybody's old lady And if I would see him in the visiting room when my people are visiting me, I'm looking at them, they're looking at me, I'm waving. They're waving back at me. I'm like, yeah, you actually should be visiting me because I know more about you than he does. It's crazy, man. I did a proposal even for somebody one time. Dude was proposing marriage to this chick. His whole purpose was just to lock her in. And this is why I've said this before to a lot of people about these guys in prison. And I tell a lot of these ladies that are out there that are on Facebook, and they're in various different groups regarding wives of prisoners and loved ones of prisoners. My man's in prison type of shit. And they would sit there and complain about what their dude is going through. And I'm not going to fucking cock block. I'm not going to hate on them or stomp all over their hustle or anything like that. But I do like to tell some of these ladies when I know that it is so blatantly obvious that this dude's working her, that he's stressing her out to the point to where it's becoming like not even manly anymore. It's some straight bitch type shit, in my opinion, to be stringing this broad along like that. And I could tell just by what they're saying because I did all the letter writing. I know what a lot of these dudes are thinking when it comes to the women. So I'd always tell them, just be careful. Just watch out, you know. A lot of these guys make all the promises in the world. They're going to do good. They're going to do good. They're going to do this. They're going to do that. And they don't do none of that shit. They don't follow through at all. Like I said, I got this dude out of the hole. I was one of the many people that he had made promises to. And he didn't do shit for me. I got all his warrants dropped. He was on his way out the door, handing everything out, giving all his shit away, didn't give me nothing. Not even a top ramen. But he told me, hey, don't worry, JD, I got you, man. I got you. You're the reason I'm going home, man. I'm going to send you $100. Never got it. You know, and that's what it is with a lot of these cats that are writing these women and that are getting at their family. How can I get some money in here to pay for my fucking debt? I got a gambling debt. I got a habit. What combination of words could you put together, JD, that can get $100 sent to my books? I'll come up with something. I'm not going to tell them you're in here strung out fucking shooting dope from the same needle that 15 other people are using. But I'll figure out a way to get you a couple of bucks. And it usually worked. I mean, if I'd have left them to their own devices and their own way of doing it, it never would have happened. All right, they'd have still been sitting there broke. There's been times where dudes were just getting ready to get smashed and banged off the yard because they can't pay their debts. There would be the homies, shot callers, llaveros, whatever would come at me and be like, hey man, you're really good with that writing, right? Yeah. Can you write this dude a letter to his peeps so he can get some money sent in so we don't have to kill him? Yeah, sure. Letters are the one thing that is like, it's not a privilege to get mail in prison. It's a right. It's a right. You maintain that right. And within reason, you can get pretty much anything sent through that mail that has to do with in the way of like books, magazine subscriptions, pictures, but it really depends on what's on those pictures. Any kind of frontal nudity, you ain't getting them. Back in the day, I mean, your old lady can send pictures where she's jamming dildos in herself and all that stuff like that. This one dude I knew, he was trying to get me to articulate a word, and so how this girl that he was writing to, and this was a long time ago. This was before frontal nudity was banned and all that shit. Saying, can you get her to send me pictures of her peeing? Peeing, like peeing in a toilet or like, pissing the bed, just standing there, just letting it flow onto the carpet? How? He goes, I don't know, anyway, all of those, all that. I want to see all that. Okay, this dude's a freak. Okay. I could definitely do that for you. I mean, there was even one letter that I did where this chick was in Chowchilla. We were in the county jail. And she's like, explain to me what your dick looks like. I don't know what his dick looks like, so I had to fucking use my imagination. So I drew a picture of it, like I drew a round, like a cone almost. And said, well, I just traced this onto the paper. Here's my shit. And I probably gave the dude a few inches. I probably blessed him with a few inches. But then again, like I said, I don't know. In that particular county jail, we don't all shower together. You remember what I told you about the Peter gazers in the shower? Everybody looks. Some people are just Peter gazers. Some people just glance. I could have gotten a pretty good idea of what he was working with, but I had to use my imagination. Gave him a couple of inches, and this girl was writing back and forth, and my God, does she have a vivid imagination. I can tell you. But I would be able to match it. I would be able to match it with my own imagination, and I would give it to her. I'd put it on her, man. But yeah, these letters, writing to them, making sure that these people get their money. I'm probably the reason a couple of people got married. I'm probably the reason a couple of people got back together. But at the end of the day, every single one of these lovely ladies, no matter what they look like, how big, how small, how wide, how thin, they were all in love with me because I was the one that wrote the letters. But they never knew it. But now, if one of them dudes that had done time with me is sitting there watching this video and his lady that I was writing to is sitting there with him, she knows now. She knows now that all this time, it was yours truly who she was really in love with. Isn't that a trip? Behind the scenes, straight Milli Vanilli type of shit of singing. Yep, that's what it is. Letter writer extraordinaire. Grievance assassin, writs, writing, and effectively getting people results, getting you the relief that you want, getting you the packages and the money you want, getting you those smut pictures, that love letter, locking them in. Big JD was the master at it, and I did it for them fools. You already know what it is. You heard it right here. Prison Break Raw, uncut, uncensored, no holds barred, non-sugarcoat, not politically correct, all up in your face, slapping you with that dick of reality. And I'm out.